part of it is that it's like, no, you shouldn't copy and paste. It's not that you can't autofill. You just don't copy and paste, because copying and pasting, I don't know, leaves. Why are you asking me? Like, what the hell do I know?
I understand.
I know nothing. I don't know anything. Stop touching
we got
me
some.
there.
We have some sad news to start with too. I don't know if I want to start with it.
I don't want to start bad news.
Sad, not bad. Sad.
Well, isn't sad bad?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Bill Belichick's got some happy news.
He's a working fool.
I know.
Once football season starts up.
I know.
He's got his hot babe.
Yeah. Wait till you hear what his mom does. 4, 3, 2.
Oh, wait, this
Straight out of the DFW Metroplex, it's Saturday Morning Live.
You know
with
it,
Jeff
baby.
Fisher from Chewing the Fat and Brad Staggs from the Daily Mojo. Today's musical guest, all-star Spangled American Weirdos, and they are traditionally amazing.
Right?
And now here are your hosts, Brad Staggs and Jeff Fisher.
Another day in paradise.
Hello. Hi.
Look at that. Let's see. Make sure everything is.
I'm gonna sit over this way.
Center yourself up. Try to be centered. Let's make sure no one's on fire over here. You talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Well, I'll begin with the sad news, like I said.
Why do we have to start with sad news?
Well, no, we don't. We don't. Do you have happy news to start with?
No. Just go ahead and we start with the sad news.
Aerosmith is retiring from touring. So you may want to dry your eyes. Okay, they're not. I know.
No.
Yes, that's what's happening. Steven Tyler, when they cut their tour short because they found bleeding on his vocal cords, and now it's really screwed him up. So he can no longer sing like Steven Tyler. So they've canceled their tour, and they're no longer going to tour. So Aerosmith, sorry.
So 75 is about the outside limit for drinking and drugging, and vocal cords staying in place.
I guess so, yeah, because Steven's 76 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's crossed the line. Don't tell that to Mick Jagger.
No, or Keith Richards isn't dead yet, is he?
No, they just finished their tour, man. They're still out there rocking.
Which one's dead?
Charlie Watts. Charlie Watts and
Charlie Watts is dead. But the rest
one of the things that I don't know that I knew this or that I knew it once and forgot it, but his I was looking up to see how old he was because he broke the 75 barrier at 76, but his born name was Stephen Victor Tallarico, and he's under, when I was looking for his age, on the Wikipedia page it says other names, and I don't remember the other name that he's known by. But according to Wikipedia, he's known as the Demon of Screamin'. So,
his fun fact about Aerosmith: my sister graduated from high school in 1972 in Enfield, New Hampshire, and Aerosmith played their
high school
dance.
They
were a garage band.
All those bands did, man. All those bands did in the 70s,
but not anymore.
No, not a chance.
How old is he?
76. Did you not? Is my microphone on?
It doesn't matter. I don't listen anyway. How old is Bill Belichick? He is 72.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to try to draw some parallel between Belichick and.
Are we seriously going to talk about Bill Belichick, a football coach for you? I'm a fan. Let's talk football.
No, it's more about his girlfriend because I discovered something happy this morning. Well, it's happy. It's not so much happy as it is remember the old joke, the perfect woman is 3 feet tall, has a flat head, and her father owns a liquor store. Not that I find that
I don't
funny.
remember that joke at all.
Not
my
that
gosh,
I find that funny because I think that's
such a
disgusting.
thing.
I think it's
Okay.
awful, and I can't believe
Okay.
anybody would ever, because you can set
All
your
right.
beer and then you got free liquor anytime you want it.
No, I
Because
got
the
I got
father
the
owns a.
sexist joke,
But
but I'm
anyway,
not laughing at
so
it.
but her this is Belichick's girlfriend right there, the one
Yeah.
that says cock on her. Well, it does. Oh, Hancock on her little dress, and she's got
That's
the
correct.
kind of look, and they've each got a really unique look on their face, don't they? She's like,
Yes, they
"Hey,"
do.
and she's like, this
Yes,
one's
they
like,
do.
I can't believe I'm standing here. I don't even know what I'm doing. And this one's, hey. And this one over here's just got the snarky look. But I found out this morning for the first time, do you know what Bill Belichick's girlfriend, his mom, does for a living?
So now we're doing Bill Belichick's girlfriend's mom, what
Bill
she
Belichick's
does for a living.
girlfriend's mom.
I don't know what she does. Some would say that she should be the one dating Bill Belichick, 'cause I don't know how old she is. But Bill is like, no, I'm taking the younger one.
Bill Belichick's girlfriend's mother owns a sex shop or manages a
Nice.
sex shop.
Nice.
So, I mean, this is pretty close to there's her mom, and you're right.
Yeah, Bill's definitely going for the daughter.
Right.
Sorry, I love you, Mom, but
Are you saying that you don't? So there's the sex
Toys
shop,
of Rose. Nice.
right? So
Nice.
all
Where
I'm
is that
saying
shop?
is
Where is that? Provincetown. Okay.
Provincetown, Ma. So and I don't know how tall Jordan is. Jordan Hudson is the girlfriend, and
She looks taller than 3
feet.
She does look taller than
Does
that,
she
but you
have a
don't know.
flat head? But you don't. Sometimes you
You
get
don't
weird
know. I
perspectives.
have seen
and things.
photos of her and Bill out in public, and she does not appear to be 3 feet.
But you're not sure. That's
No,
the thing
you're
about
not.
it. I mean,
No, you're not.
This could be just an angles.
It is. I've seen them waiting to get into a restaurant before too, both standing
Right.
standing up. And again, it could be angles. You're right.
What? I mean, seriously, what does he see in her?
I mean, maybe he's just trying to get to the mom. Is what's happening.
There are
Maybe
so
he's
many.
just trying to get to
There
the
are
mom.
so many.
Because that's what
things that could have
happens.
Filled in the blank with.
That's what happens. Did you know that I talked about this? I don't know, sometime this week. The Miley Cyrus's sister, and Miley's mom. You know, everybody's talking about Miley and Billy Ray having the duke out because Billy Ray was calling her a skank. I think he called her, which is awesome. But not
Silly
a whore,
gay virus.
not a whore. No, a
Just
skank.
a skank.
But the real fight is between Miley's sister. I think her name is Noah. I think that's Noah. Anyway, so the sister is dating this guy from Prison Break. I can't remember his stupid name. And they break up, and now he's married to the mom. So the stepdad is what dated his stepdaughter. That's awesome. I love the story.
Hold on a minute. So she's
So good.
Noah Cyrus dating
Yeah, whatever his name is, the Prison
some
Break
guy, the Prison Break guy, and then they break up.
and he now is married to mom.
Oh, the first wife, the silly gay virus's first wife.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Whoa,
Yes.
the story. Can you imagine the stories
Oh,
those two
man.
can tell each other? I
Man.
mean, keeping it all in the family. That's sweet. I think that is
That's impossible that Bill is just using this 23, 24-year-old to get to mom. That's all.
I really hadn't thought of it that way, but you're right. I mean, when you look at the goods and you think, hey, she's actually not
No, she's fine.
she's not unfortunate looking.
No, she is not. She's fine.
I mean,
She's just a mom. Just a mom.
she's just a mom. She's
Just a
somebody.
mom.
She might be somebody's mother, but she's my girl tonight,
Think about it.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good old song right there. That was a song. That was a song way back in the Wayback Machine.
Thank you.
She might be some, but she's
Appreciate it.
my girl tonight. By the way, Leprechaun says not to be picky, but you're also kind of dark.
Who's she talking to? You
I
or
don't know
me?
who he's talking to. I'm dark.
I haven't even turned on any lights or anything in here.
No, I think
sat
I think
down
he's saying I'm dark.
No.
I look much better in the dark, so get off my back.
No doubt. Just leave. I'd like to shut it down as well. We almost, prior to this broadcast, for some reason, my camera went blurry. I almost left it. Okay.
You did look good.
That's what I'm saying.
You did look good through the fuzz, which reminds me of an old joke. You ever been picked up by the fuzz?
No, Brad, I've never been picked up by the fuzz.
No, but I've been swung around by the nipples. See, we used to call the police the fuzz back in the day.
My grandfather used to. Oh, you ever seen a duck do a duck? No, but I seen a goose a goose.
And Gamma Val says, finally was able to get logged in. How is everybody this fine Saturday morning? So good. Everybody,
thank you. Finally get logged in. Just go to X. There's a log in.
It is so much simpler. Well, and people can find us just about anywhere, right? Because we're on the X and the Rumble.
Are we actually up on X?
Yeah, I think so. I've been checking that. We could really. I could use an unpaid producer.
Yes, we are.
We are? Yes, okay. And we're at RealSaturdayMorningLive.com. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere you want to be. All right. We've got the bad news out of the way. Or not the bad news.
All right. So we've got up on my X, up on your X. Why are we not up on the Mojo X? What's going on?
I don't know. I mean,
what is happening? Who's running this joint?
We're supposed to be up on the Mojo X. It says we're up on the Mojo X. But we're not on the Mojo X.
It doesn't.
Wait a minute.
It doesn't say here on my live on X.
No, you're right. We're not on the Mojo X. I don't know why.
I mean, we're losing a viewer.
We're losing fours of viewers at this point. We'll work on that coming up. But all right, so I think we're good. And again, it's amazing that in this day and age we can do any of this at all. And I mean, just think 15 years ago, no, we'd be sitting here talking to ourselves and having a big time.
We just sit in our basement smoking joints.
Very good.
Doing the same thing.
Pretty much
the same thing.
The same thing. All right. Where do you want to go from here?
I mean, speaking of technology.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I made the joke over a month ago.
Uh-huh.
After the Starliner was not stuck at the ISS.
They're not stranded.
Okay. And I made the joke about Elon having to go and rescue them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
They've been up there for like 59 or 60 days now.
They're not stranded.
I didn't say that they were stranded. I said they've been up there for 59 or 60 days. Okay. And I know that Boeing and NASA, that's a data gathering exercise. Oh, okay. Is it? Is it? Well, now today, the story breaks that, NASA management has been discussing this week whether it should return the agency's astronauts on board the Boeing Starliner or maybe send it back empty and have SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft go up and bring them back. That's what I said months ago. I just said, Elon, go get them.
What? They're not stranded.
Right.
They are not stranded. I don't know why you're saying they're stranded. They're not stranded.
It's a data gathering exercise.
And there's all sorts of options. NASA even says it right there. Look at all the options.
If I'm the astronauts, Butch Wilmore and SUNY Williams, I think I'm saying, you know what? Send SpaceX up here. I don't know that I want to get on that bad boy. I know. But I mean, hold on. How bad is it going to be for Boeing and NASA if Elon has to go and get them? Wow.
Look at
that is.
Look at that headline. It's sounding like Boeing Starliner may have completely failed.
Yeah, well, no, it didn't completely fail because after they postponed the launch, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, they finally launched and they got the astronauts up to the ISS. So it didn't completely fail. But it darn near did because they were having issues docking and before they docked with the Starliner. So, it's not a complete failure. And they are gathering data because, I don't know, they have to. They're there.
gathering data on what it's like to be stranded in space. And there's a better than 50% chance that they will be on a SpaceX Dragon capsule to get home.
Hitting it now. Holy cow.
This is, I would say this is a bad look for Boeing, but
it's a bad look for NASA too. But then Boeing has got the new guy in charge now, whoever, I forget who finally took the job. I don't know what they're paying him, but he's, he'll be off the hook for a lot of this because he wasn't the boss, so he could get some of it straightened out.
But Boeing just admitted that they lied and killed people, and
yeah, but that's not this guy. So that's what I'm saying. This guy can come in and straighten it out.
Right. That's
was
why
the old guy. I offered to come in for
the old guy.
Yeah, I offered to
lying.
Right. I offered to come in for a lot less money and run the place because that's all you got to do. Just sit down and say, "Whew, man, that guy was bad."
What is it? Okay, let's say you do take the job as the head of Boeing, and you go in. Monday's your first day. You go in. You figure out where to park. You find out where the bathroom is. Get your cup of coffee.
I don't know where it says CEO.
Right. I mean,
the parking garage.
It may be labeled. It may not be labeled.
No, it's
but
labeled.
You go down and you sit. You find your office. You sit down.
Your office is on the top floor of the building. I don't know if you know. It's not difficult to find. Anyway,
okay, but I'm just saying. Once you find it, you sit down. What do you do? I mean, What do you call?
You need to get the department heads on the phone, and I mean maybe a Zoom call or whatever kind of video conferencing you have, or get them in, bring them in, and have them around a table, and they can all talk about how bad the other guy was. And I'm not going to blame any of you, but we're going to be going over every one of your jobs and what's happening underneath you. So if we find an issue, you're out because I'm the new guy, and everything happened then is not going to happen now. And you have to take the bull by the horns.
But
it's too much money. It's too much money.
Lot of money.
It's too much money. There's too much government contracts. It's way, that's why they're all jumping through hoops now. I mean, the money is, the spigot is turned off, and we got to turn that spigot back on.
Is it though? They still have contracts with the
well,
federal
they do.
government.
Yes, they do. But now if the spigot isn't turned off, someone is actually monitoring the spigot now. So.
It just seems to me that we're just, and it's this way every damn time the government gets in bed with some corporation. It doesn't matter what they do. They could be, sacrificing employees.
Especially with this administration. I mean, no one is paid. No one is held responsible for anything.
No, and it's this way in government for the most part, all the time. In most of history that I'm aware of. I mean, it's not like, and it may have been different under Trump, I don't know, but it's just this way. They get these corporations that are too big to fail. Somebody said that. And they can do no wrong. It doesn't matter what they do. We end up shoveling more money into them.
Yeah. Yeah. It
gives people a bad taste in their mouth. I can understand why people get pissed off.
Absolutely. Yeah, it sure does.
I don't know what it would be like to be that guy going into the office the first day, and because again, you have your meeting with everybody.
You have to gather everyone, and you have to, you have to work on. I want them all either here or on video, and preferably here because I want to look them in the eye, and I want them to be prepared to answer some questions about whatever department, whatever they're running.
Who broke the Starliner? I want to know who's responsible for the Starliner not starting.
That's on the table, right? That's part of the deal. I mean, I'm just saying you're going around the table, and and maybe then you put in a call to Elon and say, okay, dude, what's it going to cost us? Go up and get them. And you either send the Starliner back and hope, and maybe it blows up, maybe it doesn't, or Elon goes up and kicks it into the atmosphere and lets it just burn up and we're done with it and brings them back.
Well, let's see. Starliner project cursed from the beginning despite technical troubles. Signs now pointing to SpaceX rescuing. So, again, I wouldn't want to be one of those.
I mean, it's amazing to me. I mean, the joke that I made is coming true. It's amazing. I mean, it's actually going to happen. SpaceX is going to go rescue him. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
And they hate Elon Musk.
Oh,
Boeing hates him. NASA hates him.
I know.
He does things. He makes it look easy.
Well,
he makes money doing it.
Makes it look easy, but
he does.
You know,
he makes it look easy. I mean, if they have a failure, one of the rockets.
They absolutely have had some failures.
Do something funky a couple of weeks ago, and it's like 8 days later. Yeah, well, we fixed it and we're back. All right, moving on.
Right.
And these clowns can't get out of their own way.
No, they cannot.
It's just irritating. I want it on the record.
I'm
pissed.
That's fine. All right, we're done with you. You sit there and you will listen to the rest of these guys for a minute, okay? I don't want to hear from you yet. We'll get back to you.
I'm finished.
I mean, I would love to have that. Oh, man, I want that job. I think I got to remember how much they were paying that last guy, because I think I offered my services for like $20 million, and that's like way under budget what they were paying that guy.
What were they paying? Shareholders pay package. Outgoing CEO Dave Calhoun, $33 million. That was in May.
Maybe I offered 10.
He was the highest package ever paid to a CEO.
That's really undercutting my services and my strengths, but I'll do it for $10 million for the first year.
And what is it that CEO Dave Calhoun knew that made him $33 million? That made him that.
Between stock options and pulling everything off. I mean, it's a big job. I'm not saying anything bad about what people are making, because you make what you make.
Right.
But
and then I did remember when he was sitting there in front of was it Josh Hawley, the senator, when they had this conversation about what his salary was?
Senator, that's well disclosed in our proxy documents in each of the years that I've been employed.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's a big number, sir.
Well, let me help you out. It's $32.8 million this year. Does that sound right?
Okay, so what, Josh?
Yes.
Right. And I agree. You're right. I don't think the government needs to be, but the fact of the matter is,
how much money have you and your cronies made on insider trading, Josh?
But these are people that are
What's the number? That's the number.
They make money. Boeing makes money mainly. We're like their largest client, aren't we?
Probably. Oh, sure.
So,
well, I mean, yeah. The government probably is. Yes.
And it seems like it's.
I mean, they sell planes all over the world. They sell, they're selling planes all over the world,
and most of them work.
Most of them do work. Yes,
most of them don't fall apart. I mean.
That's correct.
To be fair, most of them don't.
And to be fair to Boeing, and I know that we've it's documented that they had issues in their quality control and inspection process that seem to be issues that should not have been there, no question. But the quality control on the ground at the airports and the airliners is an issue as well, and nobody seems to be addressing that. We're just all blaming it on Boeing, and that's okay. $11 million. I'm going to do the job for 12. I'll do it for $12 million the first year. Okay.
How do you get to that point where you've got people who are not drilling holes in the right places on plane bodies? How do you?
Well, you've the robotics right, get it right, and you miss it, and if you don't reset. I was reading something where they talked about how if it doesn't if it's within a certain fraction, then it's fine. And so they just played along like it was within that certain fraction, and then it just got worse. Right? I think if I remember right, so. And then sooner or later, you're just overlooking. That'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
It just seems like people, we can do better. I just think we can do better. That's all. Senator, I think we can do better.
I mean, I like these hearings, and they're fine, and they make people, he wants to make him look bad that he makes $30-some million a year because everybody's struggling, and he's making $30 million a year, and seemingly can't do the job correctly, or at least can't oversee who's doing the job correctly. But
well, and if you're like Elon, I have no problem him. And it's not that it's my business because I'm not a stockholder. But remember when the judge was like, you shouldn't be paying Elon Musk this much money? It's like, wait, the board said
we decided. We decided that it's my company. I get to make that.
Right.
That's what it is.
And they do everything right. And then this clown, what judge came along and said he shouldn't be making that money? I mean, they can't even build a plane that a door doesn't fall off of.
Well, they can, because there are planes that are flying.
Well, again, you're right. You're right. Most of them don't fall apart.
Okay.
Most of them don't fall apart, which, and I don't know if you want to make this.
And there was, we forgot to do that software update on those 737 Maxes. Don't worry about that.
It's the little things. And Bob down in IT, he turned off.
And
there's
the example of those crashes with the Maxes now. I remember. They were talking about when it originally crashed, is that the pilots that flew them all the time knew how to override that, and it wouldn't have crashed. But the other pilots, these newer pilots that hadn't flown them, were following the protocol, and the protocol wasn't correct.
Right. And they're like, why the hell does the plane keep wanting to nosedive into the ground? I keep pulling it up. It keeps nosediving. Why is it doing this? And they're looking for the manual.
Because you switch that button right there, and really the manual's wrong. You shouldn't switch that button.
Right. It's the little
dummy.
thing. It's
dummy.
The little thing.
Those damn third world country pilots
right.
don't know what they're doing.
Speaking of people doing their job right, you want to talk about this guy?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So for years, I've talked about the little card that I carry with me at all times that the lawyer gave to me in Florida 100 years ago, and it says, if you get pulled over, pull this card out, and on the back of it, well, of course, he's got his ID and everything on it, but on the back of it, it says, I want my lawyer. Yep. If I'm not under arrest, please let me go. I do not waive any of my constitutional rights. I do not want to answer any questions. I do not consent to any search of my person or property.
Thank you.
And that sounds so good. And yet it's so hard to do, because you're being faced with blinking lights behind you, flashing lights behind you. The police officer is coming up to your window. He's, it's a tough thing. So you want to follow what they asking you to do, right? I mean, it's hard to tell. Dude, I'm not talking to you. Okay, it's hard, but you have to. You have to. I want to be nice to the police too. I know. I want to be nice to the police too. But I've had conversations with people in this very house that I'm in now.
Uh-huh.
If someone were to come to the door and say that they're a police officer of any agency, you are not to let them in this house.
As a matter of fact, the words that should come out of your mouth, no inglés. And if they speak Spanish to you, oh, no español either. No, nothing. I know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't speak anything.
I should keep a blind cane next to the door.
Yes,
so
right
over there, just hold that cane.
Just wear a sign that says I'm a deaf mute, and hold out a cup that can put change in it. Here's that auditor.
So this guy is at a DUI checkpoint, which, by the way, I have an issue with to begin with, these checkpoints. But okay, so this guy is teaching you how to do the checkpoint. Really, I mean, the video, like the man handles DUI checkpoint like a boss. This is what you should do, and it's great.
How you doing, sir? We're doing DUI checkpoint and driver's license check tonight.
Identify yourself, please.
I'm Deputy Hess with the Sheriff's Office.
Badge number.
4920.
Is your body cam rolling?
I can turn it on if you like.
Thank you.
Yep. Just want to see your driver's license real quick.
I like the gum chewing.
I do too. It's awesome.
It's petulant.
That's exactly what it is. That's awesome. Good work.
Before we proceed, I want to inform you that I don't consent to any searches or seizures. I'm also, under the advice of my attorney, not going to answer any questions without my lawyer present.
Now, then he puts the license to the class. That's awesome.
I think so too. Now,
Got anything to drink tonight?
Maybe you didn't hear me. I'm not answering any of your questions.
and then the guy,
Boom.
and then he leaves. And I used to be, I've always liked these auditors because that's the part of me that doesn't like authority. But I understand cops have a job to do.
I know.
But
I know. And you're supposed to follow what they ask you to do.
Right.
It was always roll your window down, keep your hands on the steering wheel, follow instructions. And I believe that. I mean, it's a good way not to get shot.
yes, it is.
Follow directions.
Totally agree. However, I do have a problem with things like DUI checkpoints. And I don't know if it's legal in all 50 states, but at least in some of them, you have the right to turn around and avoid it.
Oh, they'll hunt you down
if you do, but you have the right supposedly to do that, to turn around and
There's
avoid
no
the checkpoint.
way if you once you're in this, you can quote me on this because I believe that's probably where I got it from. Once you're in it, you're in it. Because there's no, like, again, you can quote me on that because there's no way they don't hunt you down.
And the thing is, they are always trying to. You may think they're your friend, and I feel bad even. And they're trying.
I know.
Hey, where are you coming from? None of your business.
It doesn't matter where I'm coming from or where I'm going, sir.
It really doesn't. And there are good cops out there.
I know.
And there are bad cops out there. And if you're a good cop, good. But the state of being that we're in now in this world and in this country, man, tyranny it's
tough.
It is very tough.
I know.
And I wouldn't want to be a cop. But these auditors, I think they do a fabulous job. And don't get me, there's some assholes too. There's some people who do it wrong, who just push the buttons to push the buttons. But you have to know what your rights are. And that's it. Most people don't know what their rights are anymore. Because we don't teach them.
Well, they don't teach them. And, here's, look, when I did the story this week about the Florida state trooper who pulls a car over in St. Petersburg. All right. Now, it says in the story, I'm torn on the whole story because I want to be on the trooper side and I want to be on the people that in the car side because it says in the story, this is what was reported. So I'm just going on what was reported. If it was different in real life, I apologize. But in the story, it talks about how the trooper pulls this car over because of a seatbelt violation. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt. So then we get into, he goes up to the car and he sees a piece of tin foil, according to the report, on the floor, on the driver's side in front of the passenger, which then gives him the right to search everything in the car.
Yep.
Okay, so he does. And they find, and this lady has in her purse a bag marked bag of drugs.
She's honest. And she's honest.
And the drugs that she had, she's got meth and coke, and she's got a couple of pills. They're all for personal use. Right. She's not selling them. Right. They just don't have she doesn't have a prescription. Or she doesn't have them in the prescription bottle or whatever. But anyway, and then and she's got some. She has a couple of pipes and some other accoutrements that you would use in drug usage. So she gets arrested. Right. And so she gets arrested. They talk about her going to jail and then getting out on bond or whatever. So then the driver was cited for an open container in the vehicle. Was the trooper just being nice and not writing the seatbelt violation ticket, or wasn't it a seatbelt violation and he just thought it was, which gave him the right to pull him over, which began this whole thing to begin with?
And where all of this went sideways to me is when they started doing, and they've been doing it for a long time, but I just wasn't aware of it, the civil asset forfeiture. Because now they can take If there was
Take
any
it all.
money in that car, take the money and keep it for.
And they do.
Yeah, and they do, and it's not right.
And it
And
was
that's
all
why,
based on the drug dealers and the kingpins, which everybody said, yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that because those guys are bad for the community. Well, then why are you taking this guy's $10,000 out of his? I mean, I agree. And Trump was all for it. Do you remember?
I know.
Everybody forgets that round table of sheriffs with Trump, and they all went there and bent the knee to Trump and made him say okay to the asset forfeiture.
Yeah.
And so they're all on it. And now a lot of places, and that might be all of them, but a lot of places are now, since the locals say, well, that's the federal government. So the feds make a deal with the locals. So the locals still get a cut and the feds take the rest. It's criminal.
And the local cops and or state cops become part of a federal task force, which allows them that gives them different authority when they pull you over. They can, I smell the pot. You need to get out. They can search your car just by, I smell the pot.
Yeah.
Whether or not you have any pot, I swear, I thought I smelled it.
Yeah.
And then you're sunk. And they can take your money, and it's wrong, and that's why, backing up to the dude with the DUI checkpoint, that's why you have to. All right, if you guys are going to go over the line that way, guess what? We're pulling all the way back to, we're pulling all our toys off the board too. You want to play that way, then we'll play that way.
You have
to find a balance, because people don't know their damned rights, which is people's fault, really. It's people's fault. And people are stupid.
Damn it.
And when you see headlines like this, this is the problem. And this is why those auditors are important. Now we've got 70% of college students saying speech can be damaging as physical violence. And what was the other one?
Stop it. The other one was just adults, right?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Drag it over there. The other one was this, which is even more terrifying. More than half of Americans think the First Amendment provides too many rights.
Oh, my gosh.
Move to Venezuela.
Please leave.
Go away.
Please.
This is, and again, this goes back. I'm using this as the justification for telling the guy to pound sand at the DUI checkpoint.
But the thing is, he didn't tell him to pound sand.
No, he didn't. You're right.
That's the thing.
You're right.
He didn't tell him to pound sand. He followed the instructions, but he alerted the officer, look, I'm not playing the game.
Right.
All right. I know you're doing your checkpoint. I'll show you my ID, but I'm not answering your questions without my attorney here. And that's just the whole sum of it. Okay. So I showed you my ID.
Yep.
I'm out.
And that's it. And don't, I'm not answering any questions. And the other one is where they stop and they're filming on public sidewalks, and the cops come out. You can't be filming.
That drives me crazy.
Yes, I can. Well, I need your ID. No, you don't. You need to have reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime. And again, this is the pushback.
I know.
It's the pushback.
I know.
Which we have to do if we're going to remain a free and open society, which I only have to deal with, another 3 decades, and then I'm out. So then all y'all can deal with is crap. But until then, no. I refuse. I put my foot down. Sorry, I just do.
My daughter was out walking with her friend, I don't know, a while ago now, and she said that there was a police officer that had stopped in the neighborhood and said, "You guys live around here?" And I was like, "Did you tell him, bite it, take a hike, none of your damn business?" And she was like, "No, they were thinking, they thought we were looking at this car that was parked in the front of the house, and they didn't know what was going on." And I was like, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thanks for looking out for the cars in the neighborhood. Appreciate you looking after my kid, with her friend out walking through the neighborhood. But on the other hand,
and again, there are some good cops, There's some
He was
good
just
ones, there's some
right.
bad ones.
Right, absolutely. He wasn't being mean. He was just saying, "Hey, you guys live around here. What's going on? We've had to, just making sure, So
And the next thing you know, they're stealing your money.
that's right.
And
Right. The next thing you know, he's banging on my door saying,
Right.
"Why am I letting my kid walk in the neighborhood with her
Thank
friend?"
you. Exactly.
We can't have that.
My
None of your freaking business.
I would normally Not Stu would bust in right now and tell us we need to take a break, but I don't know where the hell Not Stu is. And
no.
We'll just, for those of you listening live, you know the drill. We're not going anywhere. For those of you listening in the future, this is where you're going to hear the commercials that help us pay for this program.
Wait. Before we break away.
We already did. We already broke away. Now we're back.
So we're getting paid to do this?
I didn't say that.
No, you said help
pay for the. There was a help pay for the program. I don't believe there was any.
If we're getting paid for this, I am not. I'm not aware.
I'm
not aware of happening.
I've been told that we have, that we get certain privileges when they let us out of the cell block if we continue to do this program. That we, we get a few loosies here and there. We've got some more rights in the yard. That sort of thing,
which is important.
It is. American First PHL over in the Rumble chat room says, my findings on taxes, federal tax is illegal, but since the Fed owns the IRS, well, state tax is legal, but I'm no expert. See, and that's the other thing about, the whole, don't get me started on the whole IRS and Fed and the income tax, because it is not constitutional.
I like the IRS. And
I love them too.
Friend.
I do too. I don't know
what you're talking about, Brad.
I don't either. I can't even believe I just said that. But I was in a play once where I played a character named Zachary, and Zachary hated the IRS, and he thought.
You remember who wrote the play? I mean, that's a fascinating. It sounds like a fascinating play.
Bob Greenwood. He wrote the play.
Okay.
And as Zachary, I always said I can't stand the fact that we have an unconstitutional tax.
Wow.
And it is.
Was this just a one-act play?
It was pretty much a one-act play.
One-act play? Okay. All right.
Zach, I didn't have too many lines as Zachary. I just had to stand there and yell a lot. And I believed it. So it's just, but that's the problem. We've got, again, what are we going to do about it? I mean, look at, not to go down the political road, but look what's happening in front of our nose right now. And what are we going to do about it?
I know. I mean, look, they have actually done the 25th Amendment and gotten rid of President Biden without actually getting rid of him. And we're all just okay with it because this guy is completely gone. You watch. This is the other night. Which I'm happy that we got our prisoners back. I'm very happy that these people are back home. There's make no doubt about that. I'm dissatisfied with what we gave up to get them home.
Right.
Which seems to me that was possible that you're opening up the door for other Americans to be taken.
Although,
so that they could work a deal with the U.S., but I'm happy that
if that was your family member, you'd say give them.
You're damn right you would.
Give them.
I know. Give them what they want.
Yeah,
I know.
Totally get it.
Me too. So they're on the tarmac awaiting the arrival here of the prisoners, and Joe had spoken a little bit before this, and then we get the Kamala word salad. Now this is one of the first times since she's been anointed that she's gone off script. I mean, she almost breaks into her favorite saying of the passage of time. I mean, it's just, she almost does it, but she's been browbeat, man. Do not cackle, do not think. But while she's babbling, our president is gone, man. He is gone, and it is incredible.
Very thankful for our president and what he has done in his entire career, but in particular as it relates to these families and these individuals.
Wow.
What he has been able to do to bring the allies together on many issues, but in particular this one. This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having
Right there.
a
Where am
president
I?
who understands the power of
Right.
diplomacy and
Who's
understands the
this talking in
strength
front of me?
that
Wow,
rests
what-
in
What the
understanding
hell is
the
he?
significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day, and you can see it in the families,
Holy
in their
shnikes.
eyes, and in their cries.
He is out there like last year's Easter egg.
Oh man. Oh man.
That
I
is
mean, so again, we've got the deal they made to leave him as president of the United States and just not run anymore, not run again. And you know what? We won't kick you out. You can still be the president of the United States. Whatever. That should not have happened, but it did. And we've allowed it to happen. And now Kamala is the anointed one. She's no longer the cackling Kamala Dingleberry. She's the anointed one.
when
I
no
don't know
one
how
cast
long
a
that
vote
will-
for her.
I'm sorry.
No one cast a vote for her.
Oh, that's correct. No one did yet. I mean, she was the first one out of the primaries when she ran for president
Yep.
because no one liked her. Anyway, so I digress. Now, so they greet the prisoners coming back, and they make them walk off the plane one at a time so that they can get greeted by the president and the vice president. And he can hug them and kiss them and do the stuff that he likes to do because he's Mr. Weirdo. And it's good that he greets the people, greets the prisoners before they get to the family members. So this is all wrapped up now, and I don't forget how long it took. It was 20, 30 minutes, whatever it was. This is all wrapped up. They're still on the tarmac. The families are all hugging and kissing. And Joe decides I wonder what this is. Or do we have to leave now?
And they're all looking at him like,
And they're like, where's he going? What's he doing?
what are you
And he
doing?
boards the plane. He almost falls right there. Oh, back that up a little bit. I mean, he almost falls, man. It was close. And then he just,
Right there, yeah. And he's holding on. That's not the same dude who gingerly got on the board the plane when he came back from Rehoboth.
well, he doesn't have COVID now. Shut up.
Oh, I knew it. Sorry.
And this goes on for 2 minutes. He's on this plane for 2 minutes. And they're just standing there like, we don't know what he's doing. What's he going? Are the pilots still on the plane? I don't know. I don't know.
And this dude, see him, he's like, walks up.
She's starting to get worried because it's been 2 minutes. I mean, he's like, should I go on? Should I go in there? And I don't know. So pause for just a second. So I don't know if this is still considered, if this is our property or if it's another country's property. Because the prisoners of war, or I guess they're prisoners, were being delivered to us, right?
Right. I don't know where it
So-
took place.
Whatever. I guess that's a moot point because it's on American soil. But at 2 minutes, this guy, they're starting to like, well, I don't know what he's going to do. We have to go get him. And then here he comes. He's decided, aren't we going anywhere?
And he much like the Puxatawny Phil, his
Yeah.
head emerges
Our-
from the plane,
And Kamala smiles, laughs.
and down he
He's babbling about something like, we aren't going anywhere. I just wanted to see the plane. It's a lot smaller than the one I usually fly in. And Kamala shakes his hand and leads him out. Nice to meet everybody. I'm out of here. I didn't realize that wasn't my plane.
maybe was it?
I
was
mean,
that
holy
not even-
cow.
Was that their plane? Whose plane was that? I was
I
thinking
don't know. I honestly don't know. That's why I was saying.
'cause that is the same as remember with the parachuters, and they were all trying to take the group picture, and he wanders
Oh,
off
yeah.
and he starts
Oh, yeah,
talking
yeah.
to the parachutist.
Yeah, the cheap fake
Yeah.
video of him just turning and going to, and he was talking to the other guy. No question. I don't know what he was saying, but he was. But that's not the point. He wasn't supposed to be doing that.
No.
He was with the other group of world leaders, and so they had to. It wasn't. It was the Italian prime minister was the one who was watching him that day. It was
Yeah.
her day to watch him because
Had to
he'd already
reach over
been
and
in
grab him.
France, and Macron was like, "I'm done watching him. It's you." and she had to go all the way over and drag him back.
But now they're not even. I mean, this won't even be a story because why?
Nope, this is Joe.
Because now they've done. I mean, they've gotten him out. They forced him out, and
Yeah. That's what I mean.
They don't need.
It essentially. I mean, he's not.
It was a coup. This is what it really looks like. It's what a coup looks like, and it's happening right in front of our faces.
And the only reason they think you think it's not a coup because he's still there,
right? He's a lame duck with absolutely no power, and Leprechaun says he really does look like Walter from Jeff Dunham. He does.
Oh yes, he does. That one picture, that one side shot of him, he most definitely looks like Walter, man.
Right in through.
Right there. That's awesome.
It's.
I saw someone post, why can't they trim that hair?
Okay, so I thought I was the only one that bugged, but it's irritating, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because of the way
because it's maybe everything about him is irritating.
I do have Biden derangement syndrome. I do too. I am aware of that.
I do too.
And I think, but that just bugs me because it comes down and it's a blocky end. It's just it doesn't taper down. It's like, and you shouldn't do that.
It's really just hair plugs. It's just plugs and fake hair. So
that was what his nickname was in the Senate. Plugs.
That's what it is.
I didn't make that up. It's real.
I know it fits.
They again. I hate that everything's political, but everything
is political.
And if we're not careful, I don't know what's going to happen. This is the weirdest thing. I don't know what's going to happen in November. I have no idea.
There will be an election, and then we're going to have Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's.
Yeah, but what's going to happen? I mean, we don't know. I decided I dropped. I didn't know if y'all wanted to look at some pictures of my innards.
Wow.
I didn't even know I had a cervix, but apparently I do.
Look at that. There it is. There
Isn't
it
that
is.
Weird. That's my meniscus. Or actually, no, this. That's something. That's a part of it. That's the inside of me. That's something. This doesn't look good.
All right.
This white stuff right here, that doesn't look good. I'm told that was.
They wouldn't scrape that all out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that looks like a scrotum, but it's not. Just so you know, it's not. Here's the.
Do you have the afters?
Well, that was the afters. Here's the befores.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
See how. Right. Apparently, that's not supposed to be all feathery. It looks nice and flowing.
They go in and scrape and suck that all out. I've been scraped and sucked multiple times. Thank you.
I only had to pay for it twice, but it does. It looks all nice and flowy. I mean, that looks pretty. It's like, why does that have to hurt? But apparently it does.
And it does.
And that one right there is probably my favorite because it looks like we're looking at the back end of a mouse in the fetal position, all tucked up in the corner. I don't.
Tucked up. It looks like you're looking at something tucked up into something. That's for sure.
It did, which of course,
that's for sure.
It led me to this because I want to know.
Is this our real or not real segment?
Yeah.
Okay, real or not real?
This is this rat. That couldn't. I mean, he's doing it right. He's washing his hair. He gets the pits.
And it's really funny. There's no way that's real.
He reaches around. He gets the back end. Well, why wouldn't they? I mean, they're kind of clean animals, right?
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
This has to be. I mean,
Brad.
That looks too phony. I mean, it looks too phony. It's so rough. It looks real. But I want to thank Michael V for sending this one because sometimes you just need to laugh.
That is hilarious. There's no way that's real, but it's funny. It's funny.
It's when he's bending over like that, and it just tickles me. Because why is
that's
it
really funny. That's
we
really
like
funny.
when animals act like people? Why do we like that? It's just
Because
something about
they're so
it.
cute, and that's
what
why
it is?
humans first. Humans first. Put it down.
And I know
Whether he's bathing or not, put it down.
we still have the we've got our musical guest, which actually is a
Oh,
very
yeah.
traditional. But we have the joke of the day. But I had this, and I saw that the climate change, and nobody wants to die of climate change. I'm at the top.
No one does.
Of
No
all the
one
people
does.
who don't want to die of climate change, I'm one of them. But then I saw this story this morning of the Great Salt Lake in Utah, and that because it's drying up, it has released 4.1 million tons of carbon dioxide.
And that's bad?
And that, I think, isn't carbon dioxide supposed, that's the greenhouse gas, right? And it's bad, and we're trying to, make everybody drive electric cars and do all that stuff because, we're going to end up into a fiery fireball.
Right,
Yeah, and yet we've got the Great Salt Lake in Utah just sitting there being the Great Salt Lake, not because anything we did.
Right.
And it's sitting there, and it is spewing all of this carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. It's lost 73% of its water, and all of these climate warming emissions have been just spewing out everywhere. And we're as humans,
we're headed toward squeeze back out a little. Let me read we're headed for catastrophic decline.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's bad. But we're out here.
It's not just bad, Brad. It's catastrophic.
It's really, really bad.
Stop it with these big, stupid.
But the thing is, they're making us drive. They're trying to force the stupid electric car. And if you want an electric car, great.
Which people are resisting, by the way.
Right. And we have a hybrid. I think that's great. Hybrids make sense. They keep pushing the electric cars though down. Nobody apparently, or very few people want them. And we've got a damned lake sitting there in the middle of Utah laughing at us and pumping out all of this carbon dioxide. And it's doing it right there. It's like it's mocking us as we're trying to save ourselves from all of this horribleness. And It's just spewing out the carbon dioxide. And I wanted to bring that point up because it just...
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I have two more things, briefly. One, I'm not sure what to make of it yet. I want to say good. My gut reaction is good, but I just never know. Where Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin revoked the plea deal with the 9/11 terrorists. My gut reaction is good, but I don't know. I feel like there's something else.
Why is this 23 years later we're getting to this?
I feel like there's something else afoot, and I don't know what it is.
It's taken 23 years.
Originally, they said that they didn't want to take it to trial, or at least the undercurrent was because they didn't want to bring out the fact that they were tortured, at least early on, for information. So,
23 years we've been.
You keep saying that like that's something we're supposed to be.
It's almost like they're hiding something from us, but
It is. That's what's concerning. And the next, have you watched Presumed Innocent on Apple TV yet?
No, I'm not wealthy enough I can't afford Apple TV. I put all of my extra money into this program.
Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering.
Yeah. Why? Is it good?
Never mind. No,
sure.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to seem like I'm some sort of elitist with you.
You can be an elitist.
No.
It's fine. You can be.
Let's hear from the stupid family of Americans.
They're really. It's a good family of Americans, and
is it?
They have a song.
It's cute kids. The twins. Are they tards or?
It's called. They might be. It's
okay.
Called, their song is called "Great American Weirdos." Just say it.
We're an American weirdo family. If I were to, you can plainly see that we like the simple things in life. A son and a daughter, a husband and wife. We're mom and dad, and our kids are so glad that we're all together as one family, as normal and happy as anyone can be. What you call weird, we can all of us see. It's just a normal American family, a husband and wife, and 2.3 kids with puppies and kittens. It's just how we live. So when you come round here telling us all that you think we're weirdos and wackos and balls, just remember this one thing that you can't forget. You're the weirdo, the freak, and you're losing that bet. Brad and Jeffy, they'll keep us all laughing and happy.
Don't try to suck up now because the song isn't that good.
It's because of one thing in our DNA. We're American weirdos and we're here to stay.
The room definitely looks like American Weirdos, though.
It does. I mean, it's kind of a strange.
It's definitely a 60s, 70s kids room, no question.
Yeah, so they are. Yeah.
Or their clubhouse. Yeah, the clubhouse out the back of the house.
Great American.
We all had some house that had a clubhouse out back.
Right.
That we used to go and look at. That I used to sell my pornography magazines to. And
I was gonna say we did wholesome things in our clubhouse.
You did?
Mostly.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed in the clubhouse, but I sold products that were being used in the clubhouse, so I was okay with it.
You know what? That's called capitalism.
Thank you. That's what I said.
I think it's perfectly.
That's
perfectly
what I said.
Legit. So you got a joke of the day?
Oh, we're gonna wrap up already. All right.
It's
we can go. I read this whole long list of rules from the male side. Mm-hmm. So there's all rules of the household from the female side, but this one guy posted about rules from men, and he's got a long list of what we expect as men. And don't ask us what we're thinking unless you're prepared to discuss such topics as sex, sport, cars, or computers. Is one of them, and there's many of them. But that leads us into the joke of the day, since we're having to wrap it up. Earl and Bubba are quietly sitting in a boat, fishing, chewing tobacco, and drinking beer when Bubba suddenly says, I think I'm going to divorce the wife. She ain't spoke to me in over 2 months. Earl spits overboard, takes a long, slow sip of beer, says, you better think that over. Women like that are hard to find.
And on that note, the only question left to ask is, what are you going to do with the rest of your day now that Saturday Morning Live has come to an end? You're going to need a Jeffy fix at some point,
right?
And you can get it in all the right places. On X, at JeffyJFR. Send him an email, chewingthefat@theblaze.com. And remember, you can get a cameo from Jeffy, but it's not free. And if it's more of Brad Staggs that your heart needs, that's easy too. Follow him on all the socials at Real Brad Staggs. He never checks his email, but you can try brad@thedailymojo.com. Anything you guys want to add? Good, because I have somewhere to be in about 15 minutes. Watch The Daily Mojo Monday morning at 7, and Chewing the Fat drops again Monday afternoon. Until then, I'm not Stu, saying hasta la vista, baby!